All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on Around the Cooler, man, we're going to talk about what would you rather have in this 2026 season? Also, could a four-star be on their way to the Plains and add to this 2027 recruiting class? And then we're going to talk about Nick Saban and see if he can actually fix college football with the help of Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go around the cooler. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Water Cooler Talk Sports. Around the Cooler. Saturday nights. Yeah, you know the deal. SEC pride. Yeah, we keep it real. From the Plains to the Grove, everybody knows it's Around the Cooler. We talk that score. Talk that score. Water Cooler Talk Sports Network. Every headline, every story. Around the Cooler where the fans all meet. We talk that score. This is Around the Cooler. Only on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the Water Cooler, man. Thank y'all again for joining us, man. Tonight with us around the cooler, it is the man himself from the War Report. It is the one and only Ike Jones. Ike, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm here. You know,
it is what it is. Shout out to Ike for rocking with us tonight, man. He'll be here with us for a little bit, as well as the man, the myth, the legend himself, Bubba from Bubba and the Old Man. Bubba, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Man, feeling good.
That's what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what we do before we get this thing rock and rolling. Make sure y'all go subscribe to these YouTube channels before we get it rock and rolling. Subscribe to I Got Ted's at SEC Season. I got Tight Sports and Alabama Football Megacast. DC Wolf over at Auburn _Addicts TV. Dustin over at the Uptempo Podcast. I got B Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk, man. Vandy Chris over at the Go to Broom Podcast and the Anchor Now Live Podcast on Facebook. Bubba and the Old Man, Auburn Sports Talk. I got Kid Country as well. And of course, the Huggy Beard himself on YouTube and on Twitter, man. Also, make sure you go subscribe and follow us on our social medias. Follow us at CoolerSpot23 on Twitter. Follow us at the Water Cooler Talk on Instagram and TikTok, at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast on Facebook. And of course, you can visit us on our website, www.watercoolertalksports.com. In the process of expanding that. And so new things will be added to that website soon, and more articles will be up there eventually, man. Fellas, man, y'all ready to get into this conversation tonight?
Absolutely.
Let's make this thing rock and roll, man. As y'all know, man, I want to ask the question of the thing here. What would Auburn fans rather have in this 2026 season coming up? So I want y'all to ponder on that. But before we get into that, man, shout out to everybody that's rocking with us in the chat, man. Shout out to our guy at the Huggy Beard himself, the legend of Sweet Sugar Bow Williams. The Rooster Mac is in the chat. What's up, Huggy, man? Tim, the Tool Man Taylor, is rocking with us. What's up, Tim, man? How you feeling, my guy? There he is. Mike McKinney rocking with us. What's up, Mike? Hope you're feeling good. D-Lev is in the chat. What's up, D-Lev, man? Hope you're feeling great, man. Thank you so much for rocking with us. And then, of course, I got the one and only Big Sarge. What's up, my guy? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you feeling great, man. Fellas, man, let's get this thing rocking and rolling, man. Y'all know what it is. Let's go ahead. Let's get into this conversation. We don't want to belabor the point. We want to get some good takes. We want to get people's opinions, and we want to see what people think. So let's get this thing going, man. All right, man. Let's play a game of Would You Rather, Auburn Football Edition. You got to pick one. Would you rather, as an Auburn fan for the 2026 season, if you can get one thing as an Auburn fan, would you A, beat Georgia in Athens, B, beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl, or C, win 9+ games and go to a major bowl this season? You know, Auburn has not beaten Georgia in Georgia, and it feels like forever. That's what it feels like. That has not happened in a long time. And you add on to that, Auburn has not beaten Alabama in the Iron Bowl going on six years. You know, we kind of on the wrong end of this thing right here. Or would you rather see Auburn win 9 games this year because haven't won over 6 since 2020? So this is a question for Auburn fans. I want everybody in the chat as well to comment in the chat. What would you like to see? What would you want to do? What would you want Auburn to do in this 2026 season? I'm gonna start with Ike on this one. Ike, your thoughts on this, man? When you look at this, which one, in your opinion, are you saying that you would rather have Auburn do in this 2026 football season?
I'm going C easily with 9 wins. You're in the conversation for a college football playoff at that point in time, and you probably beat Florida and LSU, so that means Lane Kiffin can suck it.
Okay.
And And you know that guy over there at Florida who tried to act like he ain't even really want the job over in Auburn can suck it too. So yeah, give me that, brother.
Okay, I is going to see Bubba. What's on your mind? Which one you like, man?
Yeah, same thing, easy C. But I mean, I ain't just giving it out to everybody like that, you know.
Okay.
But
okay.
9 games, the momentum that would generate for the program is just insane. So I think even if you beat Georgia and Athens, what does that matter if you win 6 games? Same thing with Iron Bowl. If you win 6 games, you're still in the same spot you've been for the last 6 years.
Okay. Now, would you rather win 9 games and one of them be A or B? Or would you rather win A and B, do A and B, and be an 8-win team? Which one would you go there then, Bubba? What's your thoughts?
8 wins. 8 wins is still good. You're still probably going to a pretty good bowl game. And then I would pick the Iron Bowl because that's right before signing day. So that would also generate a lot of momentum.
If it was an 8-win season, Ike, would you rather have A and B in an 8-win season? Or are you still going with the 9 games? And I'm asking this.
I need the dubs, brother. I need the dubs.
Okay, I'm asking for a reason because a lot of people feel as if 8 wins is. Some people feel like 8 wins is the floor for Auburn this year. Is what they feel.
It's not.
So even with that floor, you can lose both of those games and achieve it. So like, I don't think that's an unrealistic expectation to try to get to 8 wins and still lose both of those games. That's a very good possibility.
Okay. Your thoughts on that, Bubba?
Yeah, I think the floor is much lower than 8 wins. I think we've seen that over the past 5 years or so where the talent's been decent. Some years it's been great like last year, but I think an expectation of 8 wins is where Auburn should be absolutely.
In expectation of 8 wins. So Bubba, you did mention earlier that you said that you think that having the 9 wins is for the long term better for the program than actually winning those, than having any of those other 2 happen. Expound on that a little bit as to why.
Well, I think 9 wins, you're going into the Iron Bowl with an opportunity to get to 10 and go to the playoffs. And then you have national media attention, and that Alabama game is probably going to be 2 9-2 teams going at it, battling for those bubble spots, right? So that's momentum. And of course, you could win those 2 games. If you're still a 7-win team, then you lost games you shouldn't have lost given the fact that you beat those other 2 teams. So you're still underachieving, even if you get 6 or 7 wins with those 2 big games.
Well, I gotta ask you this. Can you really call year 1 a success if Auburn does not beat one of those 2 teams, Georgia or Alabama, because you haven't done it in a while? Like, wouldn't that give Alex Golesh some type of pedestal or push moving forward in his career at Auburn? Would you not? Would you call that season a success though?
It would be a success if you get to 8 wins. If you get to I can't see a situation where you lose both of those games and you only win 6 or 7 games and you feel good about how that season went. But if you get to 8 wins, then I would feel like, yeah, you did well for year 1, especially considering both of those games are on the road.
Okay, both of those games on the road, you win both of those games on the road, and then that should. So basically, you're saying if you win both of those games, then Auburn should have achieved 8 when the season is over with.
I don't see a universe where Auburn wins 1 or both of those games and they don't win 8. That means you absolutely crapped the bed somewhere you weren't supposed to.
Do you agree with Bubba that winning 9 games is more advantageous and more important for the program as a whole moving forward?
In year 1, yes. In year 1, I think that the more wins you can stack in year 1, the better you can. Again, I don't see a universe where 8 or 9 wins happens, even if you lose both the Georgia and Bama game and you don't feel good about the wins that you have as well.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you this then. I'm gonna ask you this. In this, because we have had this conversation about previous coaches for Auburn. We've had conversations about proof of concept on the field. Do you think that Golesh needs wins, or does he need an identity more this season than which one is more important? Which one is more important do you think for the future? I know I just asked you that question a different way, but that kind of just came into my head and I'm kind of populating as I thought when you were talking.
I just don't, the identity he wants to establish doesn't come without winning football games, right? Like I don't know that you can extract those 2 things from one another, but I will say this, that I think that wins are going to be the most important thing for the agenda of this football team this year. Win it however you can, whether that is we're going to win it because we played really great defense and got just enough points, or we're blowing teams out because the offense is humming. I think the only thing that would make it bad for this season when wins come is if you somehow the defense falls apart, right? And you're winning LSU style a couple of years ago when they had Jaden Daniels, where it's like you got to outscore everybody. I don't think that sets a good precedent, especially for the way in which they've been recruiting the defense, for the defense to take a big step back this season.
Okay. I like that answer because I actually agree with you on that, to be completely honest with you. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us around the water cooler is the man from Auburn Addicts himself. It is DC Wolf. DC, man, what's going on with you, my guy? How are you feeling tonight, man? What's going on? What's on your mind tonight, man?
What's up, Nick Frazier in the house? GI Magas in the house. What you know about that Grey Poupon, baby?
Wow.
You know about that Grey Poupon, man? What you know about that, Nick? What you know about that Poupon, Nick? What you know about that Poupon, bro?
Hey, listen, you gotta be in the know to pull that one up.
That's
right there.
That's right. That's right.
Why did I have a feeling that was gonna happen when he came
Yeah,
in, man?
let's get it.
That's great, man. Let me go ahead and add another young man to the list to the dais tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know him, you love him, man. From at It's SEC Season, it is our guy, your guy. It is Auburn Tez. Tez, what's going on with you, my guy? How you feeling, man? What's up? What's
going on, fellas? How y'all feeling?
What's up,
What's
man?
going on, bro?
Good, man. All right, man. We are in the middle of this first topic. Bubba and Ike have given their thoughts on this, man. I'm gonna put the graphic back up on the screen just so I want to get y'all thoughts. We got about 5 more minutes before we have to get to our first break here. But the question is, as an Auburn fan or as Auburn fans, which would you rather have? Would you rather beat beat Georgia in Athens, beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl, or win 9+ games this season? I'm gonna start with you first, DC.
Man, I gotta go with I would love to beat Alabama, but you gotta win games at this point, man. We've been like winning games is off the radar for us right now. So I gotta go with winning games right now, man. You gotta have proof of concept, winning games, get momentum, then you can beat Alabama and Georgia, man. I need wins. Hey, you can think about it. You can lose to Alabama, you can lose to Georgia, and you can get in the playoffs. So doesn't mean it's more as it used to mean. But I would love to beat those guys because they are rivals, especially Alabama. But man, we gotta have wins right now, dog.
Okay,
it ain't even a discussion with me.
You agree with that, Tess? Are you with that? Are you taking the 9? Are you wanting to win 9+ games this season, or you want to beat one of those rivals?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Okay.
I really want that Georgia game, but I want the Alabama game too, man. But give me the 9 wins, man. 9 wins in a bowl game is guaranteed upward trajectory. Right, like that lets me know that the program is going in the right direction. Kind of like DC said, you can lose to both of those teams, win 9 games, and make the playoffs. But also, like, just beating those teams is a personal. I think it feels good for the fan bases. Of course, they're rivalry games. But in terms of the health of the program and going forth, I'd rather take the 9 wins in the bowl game. And I think that'll set us up to beat those teams year in and year out in the future. So give me the 9 wins right now in a major bowl win.
Which one is more important? I'm asking this question because I just asked Ike this question. I said, I'm gonna ask this. I preface this before we get into it. Bubba basically said earlier in the show that he felt like winning those 9 games will actually help set the program up for the future of the program. Do you agree with that, DC?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We need it now, and then that will set us up for the future, man. I apologize, your bubbleness, your highness. I didn't know you was behind the screens, man. I'm sorry for not speaking. Yeah, I agree with Bubba, man. I agree with Bubba.
All right, bro.
What is it? I answered his question. I'm gonna answer his question because I was speaking in a question popped in my head. I don't know if it was a good question, but it was a question that popped in my head. Do you think Golesh needs wins, or do you think Golesh needs identity more this season?
Gotta be.
But he needs his identity to be winning.
Yeah,
that's a great way of putting it. That's a great way of putting it.
I don't know. At this point, man, like, the past 4 years sitting through what we've sat through, we want wins on the board, right? We just take wins on the board right now. Like the identity, it'll come. Like if he wins games, that'll come. Like it'll be because he's established the identity and the culture there. But yeah, man, give me the wins. Give me the wins.
Shout out to Auburn in the chat. What's up, my guy, man? 8 wins isn't the floor, but it is the floor for a successful first season for Alex Golesh, man. Big Sarge comes in and says, "A real fans want all trio." Not shout out to Birdman for that, man. He said, "A real fan wants all trio." I like that, man. I like that. I like that. Tim the Tour Man said, "Give me the wins," is what Tim the Tour Man said, man. I like that as well, man. Susan Scales agree with you on that one, Tess. She says wins can be his ID. So I like that as well, man. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to King Richard in the chat. What's up, my guy, man? Hope you feeling good. Hope you feeling great, man. Fellas, man, we appreciate that so much, man. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take a break right here, man. When we come back, right after this, we're going to talk about if there is potentially another 4-star that could be in this 2027 recruiting class for Auburn coming up here soon. Could be as soon as July, could be August, but we're gonna talk about it right after this, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back right after these messages. Let's go.
You want a solution to protect your family in a moment of crisis. Freddie Metro provides those solutions to protect your family and build real wealth. Serving Alabama and Georgia with trusted advice you can count on. Call him today at 678-870-4001. Freddie Metro, protecting families, building legacies. Do you drink energy drinks and then a few hours later feel sluggish? Don't worry, I got the solution for you. Try Dubby. Dubby is a jitterless energy drink mix designed for better focus, clean energy, and no sugar crashes later. Whether you are working, watching Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, or locked in on game day, Dubby helps keep you going. Visit the link on your screen right now and take advantage of the discount and level up your energy with Dubby. Sports fans, let me ask you something. How much time do you spend online every day? Whether you're streaming a big game, traveling to an away game, or simply browsing online, your privacy matters. Think about it. Every day we're checking scores, watching highlights, buying tickets, managing fantasy teams, shopping online, and connecting with friends and family. That's why I recommend NordVPN. NordVPN protects your connection with advanced encryption, helps block malware and online threats with next-gen antivirus, and keeps your personal information secure across all your devices, whether you're at home, traveling, or using public Wi-Fi. Right now, get 76% off plus 3 extra months with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. Visit our link today and support Water Cooler Talk Sports while protecting what matters most. NordVPN, security, privacy, peace of mind.
Yo, shout out to everybody that rock with us here, man. Shout out to our guy Freddie Metro, man. You know, when the inevitable happens, man, or that catastrophe happens, man, you want to have your affairs in order. He has those instruments to help you get those affairs in orders, man. Give him a call today, 678-870-4001, or you can email him at freddiemetro@gmail.com. Serving Alabama and Georgia, man. Shout out to our guy Freddie Metro, protecting families and building legacies. Ladies and gentlemen, we know everybody up here has drank a energy drink at some point in time. Well, there's a clean energy drink mix out there. No sugar, no crash later, and it helps keep you focused, man. Visit the link on the screen right here and go to Dubby. Better yet, the link is in the description of this show. You hit that link, find out what you want, go to the cart, and once you hit that link, you'll get 10% off your order with Dubby as well, man. Support the channel, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Also, man, shout out to NordVPN for giving us an opportunity, man. You can hit that link on the graphic there, or you can hit the link in the chat. There's another link for NordVPN. You get 76% off right now, plus 3 extra months to get that peace of mind that you need when you're traveling, whether you're at home. You know, there's a lot of things going on. A lot of people can have their identity stolen. So get you a VPN that you trust and trust out and support us, man, and trust NordVPN with that, man. So we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here on that as well. Let's keep this thing rocking and rolling, ladies and gentlemen, man. The recruiting trail for Auburn has been on fire.
Yeah, man.
These past couple of weeks, man. I mean, literally, they've been on fire. You know, we have talked about this basically all week of, you know, having multiple guys commit within 2 or 3 days. Getting the commitment of Isaac McNeil, a guy from Pritchard, Alabama, at Viger High School, man. He came in one of the 4-star guy, 4-star elite in-state guy as well. But there is news coming up that there is a guy by the name of Nate Kamba out of North Carolina, man, 4-star defensive lineman who is trending towards Auburn. And here's the best part about it. Auburn will be getting his final visit June 17th through the 19th. Same way that happened with Isaac McNeil. He had his final visit with Auburn. A couple of days later, he committed to Auburn. Getting that elite talent here. And trying to find guys that have the ability to come in and be difference makers. There was a question about whether Coach Golesh could go out and recruit, you know, this elite talent that's needed to compete at this level in the SEC. I want to start with Bubba on this one. Bubba, you had the opportunity. I don't know if you had the opportunity to watch it in full yet, but give me your thought process on this guy Nate Kamba and what he could potentially be for Auburn in this class and what he could look like.
Yeah, he's a pure nose. Absolutely. He is a 0 tech and 1 tech. I think he does well against double teams. Like you have written up here, his first step is really nice. I looked up his recruiting profile and it said he was 280. Ain't no way.
No, he's not.
That is a 320-pound man.
Yeah, no, he bigger than that. He bigger than 280. He bigger than 280.
I think he'll be a good add. He's not Donovan Moore or Carlos May, but I think he ties it together really nice to add a 1 tech or a 0 tech, especially when you're going to be losing Dallas Walker after this year.
All right, your thoughts on this, man? How can Vontrell King Williams get this guy in the fold? And with the help of a DJ Durkin and a Coach Golesh, what could this be for this Auburn defense moving forward, which seems to be the anchor of this defense for this season and potentially moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, adding another guy that's going to be a true nose tackle is important for the way that they want to play defense. You don't find a lot of those guys right out of high school often, and they certainly have not been coming to Auburn right out of high school, you know. But with this coaching staff, they've done a better job of doing that. So I love the fact that you could potentially have another guy that's cementing the interior of that defense for a couple of more years, because you've got some guys that are younger right now that can do it. If you bring on a freshman into this next class, that means that you're kind of restocking the shelves there.
Gotcha. DC, your thoughts on it, man? Have you had the opportunity to take a look at his tape, or did you what's going on?
Have it, man. Just looking at his profile, number 9 in North Carolina, 19 nationally, top 200. I'm looking at what Vontrell King Williams has been doing the last few years, man. He's been playing them young, man. He's been like doing Keith Sweat, man. You may be young, but you're ready. You see what I'm saying? He bringing them in like that, bro. So that's the selling pitch I would sell to him, man. They have been playing freshmen, man, and they've been getting heavy rotation. So that would be my pitch to him. Got to get him out of Georgia, though, bro. We got to get him out of Kirby Smart hands, pitching, playing him young. And I think, man, what Vontrell King Williams is doing, man, he's giving us below 3 yards a carry since 2003. He's breaking records, man, as far as the defense. Top 6 in the running game and defense, man. So he can sell all that to him, man, to success. He's been given to young players. So I think, man, that's the pitch.
Tez, for those guys that look at recruiting rankings and look at stars, man, how important is this to potentially get a 4-star in the fold to help boost up, you know, that class profile and that ranking number that a lot of people look at the end of the season and be like, this is potentially going to be a great class 2 years down the road?
Super, super important, man, because I've said before, the star rating is more of it's heavily weighted by who you have that offers you, right? If nobody wants you, you don't have no offers, you're not going to get a high star rate. It's the way it works. And you look at some of the official visits, you got them listed there. You know, like DC said, it's a guy that Georgia wants, South Carolina, Ohio State. Those have been specifically Ohio State and Georgia, have been elite defenses for the last couple of years. So getting a guy that they've evaluated and said, hey, we would want him to be a part of our defensive line in the trenches is always massive. And on top of that, 6'4", 305, they don't make a lot of humans that grow that big. It just
not that move
kind of
like
luck
that.
of the draw, right? Like it's nothing you can do or train or nothing to, get that big. It's God given. So to get one of those guys on the planes, like you guys said, with Dallas Walker leaving next year, and with the guys behind Dallas Walker being particularly young too, looking at Jordan Crawford and the rest of those guys. So yeah, getting this kid is massive, and on top of that, just getting kids like this signals to other kids that Auburn is a place where you can come be on the defensive line and make some noise, because a lot of recruiting is kids talking to kids, man. So yeah, getting these kids in is massive for us for the future.
DC, Auburn has always had the ability to recruit defensive linemen, pretty good defensive linemen, interior guys that have just been kind of dominant. Could he be in that vein? I mean, you saw a guy that we had last year, Bobby Jameson Travers, when we looked at his stats at the end of the season, 25 solo tackles from the defensive nose tackle spot, man. Could this guy be potentially one of those type of guys down the road that could potentially be something like that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we talked about, and this is a new word I've learned, archetypes, man. And he is that. He's coming in that big, man. He's coming in your, like y'all said, man, the 320 to 330 range. That's where if you look at the nose tackles now, that's what they're bringing in. That's the type that they are bringing in. So he fits that mold. So, man, again, I put my trust in Vontrell King-Williams, man. He's earned it. Look at the production. Again, under 3 yards per carry, bro. Some of those things haven't been done in a long time. Top 6 in the rush game in the SEC. Dude is putting in works, man. I hope we be able to keep him, for a while. But, man, some people going to be knocking on the door to get this guy, man. So I put my trust, Vontrell, man. He got my full trust, dude. So yes, he can become that guy.
Do you agree with that stance, like?
Of him,
what DC just said? Yeah, could he?
I thought you were asking me, do I agree with his competition level being trash?
No, my bad. I was saying, do you agree with the stance that he could come in and potentially be one of those next guys that Auburn potentially, Auburn just has that thing of where you can put DBs in the league, you put running backs in the league, and as of recently, you've had the opportunity of putting a lot of guys that were in the interior defensive line and defensive line guys in the league. Could he be that next guy that can come in and potentially be that for Auburn?
Trust BKW, man. If he likes the eval, I like it too. He doesn't miss often. I mean, think about the defensive linemen that he's brought in, and how many of do you think are misses?
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a great point. That's a great point. I want to ask this before we move on. If Auburn misses out on this guy, does this? I don't want to sound negative here, but does this change does this halt the momentum or the perception of the momentum that Auburn has had moving forward in recruiting, in your opinion, Bubba?
No, because he's not, like I said, he's not Carlos May or Donovan Moore. I don't think he's that caliber of prospect. I think he's good to add to the room.
Okay.
But I mean, I watched Vontrell King-Williams turn Bobby Jameson Travis into a elite nose tackle in the SEC, and he was a 5 tech when he came in out of JUCO. Like when he came in, they converted him to nose. He was like 285 pounds. By the time he left, he was 315, one of the best run defenders in the SEC. And he kept the athleticism he had at 285, and he got drafted. He got drafted as a nose tackle, an older nose tackle. That's rare. So like Vontrell King-Williams, he'll figure it out. He could turn me into a productive nose tackle.
I'm gonna go around the horn real quick. I'm going around the horn real quick on a scale of 1 to 10. How imperative is it that Auburn's getting the last visit from this guy before he makes his decision? Bubba, on a scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know, like 7.
DC
5.
Tess.
No, about a 5.
Ike.
Yeah, I go about 6 on that. I think it's important. I don't think it's like super important.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we are at the halfway point in the show. All right, you still with us? Or you gotta
I gotta go, man. I gotta handle some business.
Man, shout out to Ike Jones for rocking with us
Shout out,
tonight,
man.
man. Ike,
Good
man,
seeing you, Ike.
Ike,
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Good seeing you,
everybody
bro.
know where you at, man. But shout out how they can get in touch with you.
There's plenty of people probably don't know, man, but I am at Ike Jones TWR if you want to follow me on X. And of course, the channel is The War Report on YouTube. We are at The War Report on Twitter and Instagram, TW Report, TikTok. Holla at your boy, man, doing great Auburn coverage or the best I can do.
Man, shout out to Ike, man. We appreciate you so much for coming up here and giving us a little bit of your time tonight, man. Thank you so much. Oh my God, man. Appreciate you so much, man. Make sure y'all go check out the snake draft we did last night over on the War Report channel. We built athletic department. It was dope. I think I had the best one.
Yeah,
But
that
I didn't
was
say it
dope.
out loud. I didn't say it out loud, did. But it is. Man, Ike, man, we appreciate you so much, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all having me on.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, let's get this thing rock and rolling. We'll be right back right after these messages right here from our sponsors.
Hey, you listening? If you're trying to eat like a champ today, you already know where you gotta go. Adelines by Chef Country. Smoked ribs, real flavor, no shortcuts. Yeah, they do it right. Tap in right now. Call them at 334-349-0226 or slide through at 2371 Highway 14, Otagoville, Alabama. Adelines, your official pregame meal. SEC football fans, this is your channel. Every Tuesday, it's time for SEC Season Live, the most interactive SEC football experience on the planet. Live chat voting, hot takes, weekly rankings, real debate, and you help drive the conversation live on air. Then, every Thursday, hit the reset button with Lunch Breaks, your lunch break destination for real SEC football talk. Reactions, storylines, and unfiltered opinions from across the conference. If it matters in the SEC, it matters here. Subscribe now to @It's SEC Season, and don't just watch the conversation, be a part of the show.
Shout out to all the people that rock with us here around the water cooler, man. Ted, tell them what they can find over at this SEC Season, my guy.
Yeah, man. Over at It's SEC Season on all platforms, man. Tuesdays, we got our in the middle of our Fans versus Day series, where we pick each and every single game, putting those numbers together so that we can use them during the season. We're heading into week 11. No, I'm sorry. We're heading into week 12. We're almost done with that thing. Get ready to crown a conference champion in that. So make sure you're checking that out on Tuesdays, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Thursdays is lunch breaks. Make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button and notification bell for lunch breaks. You get in on that conversation. It's our lunchtime sports everything show. You know, we talk of everything, lunch table discussions. Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Last Thursday, we had the conversation about the NAACP and their decision. And then next week, I got the topic this week. And this is gonna be a fun one. We're doing open table Thursday. And that just simply means there's no topic. Open table, bring your lunch, whatever pops up. We're gonna get in and get out of it. Something new.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Man, make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to I Got Ted's at his SEC Season. He just popped in, ladies and gentlemen. Edward, Chef Country. Edward, tell them what they can find at Adelines.
Man, you can find some of the best food in Central Alabama, period. Whatever you like, man. We got the best burger, man. Been voted one of the best ribs. I mean, best catfish. Whatever you like to eat. Collard greens, man, pig foot, neck bone, oxtail, macaroni and cheese, butter beans, whatever you like. Whatever you like, you can find it there, Nick.
I'm full already, man.
Right. Just listening. Right.
Oh, man, listen to it. I'm already on there, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, check out I Got Chef Country. Adelines by Chef Country, man. 2371 Otagoville, Alabama. A new number, 334-349-0226. Make sure y'all can reach out to them if y'all need to call them, man. We will be the October 17, 2026, going live for the Auburn versus Georgia game.
Hey, Nick.
Go ahead.
Man, before you start on your next topic, man, you remember the kid me and you was talking about on the phone? a couple weeks ago that I told you hold the Auburn offer.
Yeah.
My little cousin.
Yeah.
He the number one linebacker in the entire class of 2028 in the country, bro.
What?
Maybe Little Alabama.
There it is, man.
Man, this boy at 15 years old just went up, put a NFL combine numbers up at Alabama camp on Tuesday.
Wow.
The boy 15, he went there, he ran a 4.6 40 at 240 pounds with a 10-foot broad jump and a 84-inch wingspan.
Ooh, wow.
Man, Christian Robinson. He down here in Mapleville every day checking on him, man. I don't know what Dirk and them doing down there, boy, but I told you better. I feel sorry for who got to block him. I don't just say that, man. The number he put up, if it was any player in the country, in the combine, that put them numbers up, bro. Already first round draft pick type number, man. Kid special, man.
There it is, man. I'm telling y'all, there it is. We gotta get him on the show. We gotta go see him. We gotta go see him in person as well, man. But we gotta get him on the show and talk to him, man. Shout out to Edward for that, man. I remember Edward talking to me about him. Yeah, Coach Durkin. If you watching this, I'm just saying, there's a kid over there that you can go take a look at. He a linebacker. I'm just saying, you good with linebackers. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling, man. Nick Saban appeared in Congress this week in support of the Protect College Football Act. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Saban made his political debut this week. And I guess this is his ability to kind of get into the conversation of where college football needs to go and his support for this actual bill that's coming up. This is a hot topic right here. So the last part of the show, both of these topics are going to kind of go together when we talk about them. He was in DC, and he had the opportunity with Notre Dame's athletic director Pete Bravacqua. They had a student athlete there as well who was there with them, whose name is Lance Holtzclaw. They had the former president of West Virginia, Gordon Gee, and of course Teresa Gould, who's the commissioner of the Pac-12, of the new Pac-12 conference. All testified before the committee for, I guess, in support for this Protect College Sports Act that is apparently a bipartisan act between in Congress. He had the statement. He said Congress does not need to fix the mess in the courts and create a national Congress does need to fix the mess in the courts and create a national framework so people inside college sports can enforce fair rules. So I think name, image, and likeness has become pay for play. What did he argue for? He argued for a national legal framework to enforce fair rules, transfer portal reform. He basically was in there saying that he wanted to protect, Olympic sports and non-revenue sports is what he was there to do and to help. And he wanted to set guidelines for NIL in there. So what is this that he is saying that he is in support of? Well, it is the Protect College Sports Act 2026, which has been authored by Senator Ted Cruz from Texas, Senator Maria Cantwell, who's the ranking member of the Commerce Committee of the Senate Commerce Committee from Washington, is also backed by Chris Coons, Democrat from Delaware, and Eric Schmitz, Republican from Missouri, which is where you get the bipartisan effort from. What are some of the key provisions in this bill? Federal NIL rights, agent regulation, so basically having some type of framework for agents in college football, revenue sharing cap as well, so a cap on revenue sharing, medical coverage for players, transfer and eligibility rules is something that they were looking at, and then the biggest sticking point, which is what we're going to talk about later when we get to our final topic tonight, the media rights reform in this era of college football and moving forward with the way that money is made. When you look at what this does, I'm gonna start with Tez on this one. Tez, your thoughts on this? When you look at this, what it does? Do you think this is a good thing, or do you think this is a bad thing, or is this a facade to kind of just get people on board to say that we are trying to do something, to basically say that this is something that we're trying to do just to make it look like, hey, we hear what y'all are saying, but we really don't care. What are your thoughts on this?
Man, this is it's that's like a loaded question, right?
It is.
Do I think it's a good thing? Not necessarily a good thing, but when you look at the topics and the things that are on the board, right? I agree with there needs to be something done about it. We talked about federal NIL rights. We talked about that Thursday. I think some of these kids may be getting taken advantage of on the NIL level. Agent regulation. Some kids are getting taken advantage of through bogus agents. Revenue sharing cap. I don't know how we feel about that. Do schools have a cap on how much of their revenue they can spend on kids? I think from a fiscal standpoint, to make it even across the board, it probably should be some sort of revenue share cap in place. Medical coverage is something that we think these kids all need. We would all agree with that. The transfer and eligibility rules. Nobody likes the transfer portal. We've complained about the transfer portal for 4 years, right? And then media rights reform, like you said, we'll probably get more in detail in that on the next segment. But all of these things do need to be addressed. Now, how they're addressing them, that's where I may not agree as much. So I think it is just like it is somewhat of a facade, just saying that we are doing something. But I don't want to get away from the fact that like all of these things do need to be addressed as some form or fashion. Like it needs to be somebody needs to do something about them, because right now it's the wild, wild west. And as much as we say, we talk about kids that are thriving in this system, there's some kids that's getting taken advantage of and left behind because there are no. So, yeah, I don't know that necessarily. I don't know that answer your question specifically. But yeah, I think so. I think it is. I think it's a little bit of all of them. I'll put it to you like that.
DC, do you agree with that? And then on top of that, do you think that Nick Saban is the right person to be the face of this conversation when talking about reform?
No, I
don't. Regulation.
No. I think he maybe have a seat at the table, but I don't think he should be the face of it, man. When you look at man, how much coaches make and how much they have made and how they made their career and got rich off of this whole system. And now it's like you want reform. Think about this, man. The highest paid coach in college football is Kirby Smart, $13 million a year. The salary cap for in-house colleges is about $20 million. So, he's making about 65% of the cap, right? Mm-hmm. But when no one is saying, we need to preserve the non-Olympic sports because of the monetary cap space that the coach is taking up. You feel what I'm saying? But when we say, okay, the players are getting 20 million, now all of a sudden we are afraid of the other sports going away because, you know what I'm saying, all the money is being given to these athletes. Man, it's like, it's bogus, dude. Why weren't we before Congress, before NIL, when coaches' salaries were going out the roof? Why weren't we at Congress saying, hey, let's limit coaches' salary and put framework around coaches jumping from team to team? Man, Lane Kiffin just jumped from Ole Miss to LSU in the middle of the season. You feel what I'm saying? Well, not the middle, almost the end of the season. He jumped during the season. Did anybody go to Congress and have reform with him doing it? But it's like the players doing it. I don't think a coach should be the face of anything, especially one that has benefited off the backs of these players, man. So and on top of that, give me some players at the table.
Well, they had one. They had one.
You know what I'm saying? Give me some players.
It was kind of rare. I was about to ask about that.
Holtzclaw was there. Holtzclaw was there. He was there.
The football player?
Yeah, he was there.
From Utah.
He's a player. He's a player.
What I'm saying
really
is
random.
Right, but what I'm saying is, man, you don't
Well,
have
hold
a
up. Let's hold up. We
Okay.
can't say that players were not at the table. But then when they do bring a player to the table, we can't be
No.
upset that the player
I'm
that
not
we
saying
don't want
no.
at the
That's
table
not what I
can't
was.
there.
No, that's not what I was about to say. What I'm saying is, the players need to be the face as well. You feel what I'm saying? It's like the players are in the closet, and you got Nick Saban as the face of it. My point was, you need players up front and center in the discussion at the table. You feel what I'm saying? To be viewed as they are literally meaningful at the table. We only hear like a couple voices right now, and that's like the commissioner of the SEC, Big Ten, and Nick Saban. You feel what I'm saying? Bro, give me the player representative or somebody. Let the players talk so we can hear the player perspective. You follow what I'm saying? So, I mean, I like the thing about the healthcare, and I like the thing about agent regulations, which you can do all that without going before Congress. Like I say, no one is jumping on nobody, no coach or anybody else for jumping jobs, man. To me, it's just selfish, bro. I don't like it. But as a fan, it's selfish. I want my team. I want to recognize my team every year. That's just selfish, dude. I don't want him to jump schools. Why? Because I want to recognize my team and I want my team to win, and I want to go to work and brag on it. That's it.
There's only one part of this I don't agree with.
What's that?
Probably the revenue share cap part.
Mm-hmm.
But
everything else is.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was just saying everything else is kind of spot on. Like, granting kids eligibility for NIL compensation federally. I agree with that. Agent regulation. I agree with that. I don't necessarily like the transfer portal rules the way that they are. Like, I mean, is it fair? Yeah. But I mean, is it fair? Yeah. You can say like, there's no transfer rules on coaches, but in the same time, mid-season, well, after the season and players hit the portal, it's just a lot of complaints from the fan bases about, man, these players, so we complain about the transfer portal, so it should be probably something done there. Medical coverage, guaranteed 8 years of medical coverage for players on after they played. I agree with that. Media rights reforms, honestly, that probably would fix more things than a lot. If the media rights were under control. The only thing that I don't agree with is the revenue share cap part, where you're trying to limit how much you can pay players from your revenue spending. Other than that, like, the rest of this is pretty solid. It's just the wrong person at the head of it.
Yeah. And then my question over the whole thing is, dude, why is it even a discussion? You feel what I'm saying? It's like we're not doing this with the coaches. We're not discussing their agents and their medical and that's not before Congress. Why are we not discussing coaches' salaries and coaches, what they're doing and regulating what coaches are doing? I just don't get it.
But do you think that getting government involved in this is a slippery slope moving forward?
Well, as far as like legal stuff, I dropped out my second 10th grade year, so I have no knowledge of that. But I think overall the message was decent. I'm not a fan of limiting earning potential of athletes. I think I would view it differently if they had like a widespread players association of all sports included in this, and they all had input. So I think overall, like, transfer rules, I think that's a good idea. You get a free transfer and then you get a grad transfer. I think that's a good idea. But as far as like, I don't see why we need a rev share cap. There's no reason that we should have a rev share cap. If anything, I think we should add a floor for student athletes as far as what they would earn.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I want people to understand. They are trying to model this after the NFL, and we only got about a minute left, and I want to get Edward's thoughts on this. They're trying to model this after the NFL, but the NFL has a collective bargaining, and there is no federal regulation. And we're going to talk about this in a minute, because the only thing that the NFL is federally following is labor acts, the National Labor Board Act, and any antitrust dealing with the Sherman Act and things of that nature. That's the only thing that federally the NFL is doing. But when we'll get into that in a minute, but I want to get Edward's thoughts on this before we get out of this topic and transition to an adjacent topic that's near this. Edward, your thoughts on this, man? Do you think this is a good thing for college sports? And do you think Nick Saban is the face that needs to be the one talking about it?
Yeah, I mean, man, how I feel about college football, man, college sports. A lot of people ain't finna like what I'm finna say. But I say I'm the Charleston White of this thing, so I'm gonna say some stuff sometime that might be controversial, but I'm gonna say how it will feel.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back to the Negro Leagues.
Okay.
I need to get out of Alabama and Auburn. If I'm gonna be real, just completely real. Black man ain't got no business going to neither one of them. Let's go back to the ABCU. See, because the only problem is, got a bunch of young black boys making a lot of money. We don't say that when these coaches make these $1 million. You see what I'm saying? We don't say that. I've been seeing Facebook, man. I've been reading comments, and I just be disgusted. People want to say, well, you race-based. No, man. We ain't. The same people that sitting up here cheering at Alabama and Auburn, them the same people trying to redistrict everything where black folk vote don't even matter. Let's just start being real, calling it what it is, man. I ain't here. I'm sorry for saying this on your show, but this ain't your opinion. This is Edward's opinion. Go back to the Negro Leagues. I'm not trying
to censor you, but you got like 30 seconds.
I'm done.
No, I'm just trying to stay on the time straight. That's all. I wasn't trying to censor you. I'm trying to stay on the time straight.
Send me back to the Negro League, and then let's divide it and play sport. Everything else divided in the country, whether you want a minute or not. Let's go back to the Negro League.
I like it. I like that you speak in your mind, because that's what we do around the cooler. We speak. We talk that score. That's what we do. We talk that score around the cooler. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back right after these messages, and we're gonna keep talking about this for a little bit longer. This is an adjacent conversation coming up next. We'll be right back right after this. Let's go. Everybody wants to look like a star when they step out, including you. That's why Hollywood Media got you covered. From clean portraits, corporate events, and even athletic events, they capture it all. These ain't just pictures. This is your moment. Follow now on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. And follow on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Hollywood Media. Feel like the star you are. Breaking news. Every Sunday night, DC Wolf brings you the biggest stories, hottest takes, and everything you missed across Auburn athletics, from football to basketball and beyond. If it's happening on the plains, you will hear it here first. Live Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, only on Auburn Addicts TV. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with us, man. Make sure y'all go follow our guy, DJ Hollywood Media, man. Feel like the star that you are. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Hollywood with an Hollywood with an EY, man. And then, of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. Shout out to our guy, DJ. That's my quarterback, man. Always, man. Day one supporter of Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. DC Wolf, tell them what they can find on Auburn Addicts.
Man, Auburn Addicts, have you heard Auburn news today at 6 p.m. on Sunday, man? Get your chores done. Get everything done, man. Get all your little house stuff done, man, so you can join us around the barn at 6 p.m. on Sunday. I'm sorry, Sunday. All right. We're talking Auburn, baby. I'm ready to go tomorrow, baby.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling, man. The SEC, could they break away? Could the SEC break away and start their own league? This is an adjacent conversation to what we just had a conversation, and we could have went in depth a little bit more about that, but we're on the time restriction, and I can't. Like, we'll be here all night if we were talking about that really, really in depth. But there have been talks about the SEC, particularly thinking about breaking away from the NCAA, breaking away from that, breaking away from other conferences, starting their own league, and being able to put in place the rules and regulations that we just talked about with the College Sports, College Sports Protection Act, is what it is. You look at what you look at the screen where it says where it could be helpful. You look at the screen where it says it could be harmful. I think that we are in an era of college football right now that is very, very imperative to what it would potentially look like 10 years from now. Now, there was an article that just came out literally less than 2 hours ago from the AP where Greg Sankey was quoted as saying this, and this is a quote from an article from AP. It says, Tony and I, and this is, and I quote, Tony and I have laughed about that particular reality and the notion that somehow we're going to merge our leagues and have some magical agreement. Greg Sankey said, that's an end quote. That article just came out. I would suggest that you all go read that article from the AP where he said that it is laughable that there is the potential of the SEC breaking away and starting their own league or merging with the Big Ten in that instance and starting some super league. He said him and Tony Petitti, he's referring to Tony Petitti. He said they sit back and laugh at it and says that it's something that they just find like this is just magical. He also went on to say in this, he said, I quote, but I really need to see that it's voluntary to understand some components of how that would be treated under different scenarios. I think the notion that we would simply rush to say we support is not the appropriate position. I do think it's appropriate to try to work through these issues. What is he talking about right here? This statement that was a joint statement from the SEC and the Big Ten. And this is what it says, and I'll read it verbatim. It says, the Big Ten Conference and the Southeastern Conference support a sustainable national framework for college sports, one with an effective transfer portal, clear eligibility standards, the protection and benefits for student athletes. While we appreciate the leadership of Senator Cruz and Cantwell in pursuing these shared goals, we do not support the Protect College Sports Act as drafted. The bill leaves critical issues unresolved. It does not meaningfully preempt the patchwork of state laws or provide the protections needed to make and enforce consistent rules, both essential to long-term stability in college athletics. It also shifts ongoing rulemaking to Congress, limiting the ability to adapt quickly as the landscape evolves. Rather than reducing litigation, the bill likely expands it without offering clear alternatives to dispute resolutions. Finally, the bill alters the House settlement revenue sharing framework in a way that may result in fewer student athletes receiving direct revenue share payments. We are committed to working with Senator Cruz and Cantwell and other members of Congress to improve this legislation so that it can provide lasting stability for college athletics. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what they are telling you right there. When you look at this college when you look at what we talked about when we talked about with the areas of the Protect College Sports Act, you talk about federal NIL regulation, NIL rights. They don't really care about that. That's fine. They want players to get paid. The revenue sharing cap, they mentioned that in that statement that you just saw. They mentioned that. The one thing that they do not like about this bill is that last one on the screen there, the media rights reform. Basically, what would happen if that were to happen is basically all the conference will be pulled together. All of their media rights will be sold to all networks, and then all of their revenue will be split evenly between all conferences. The Big Ten and the SEC do not want that because they are the strongest and most profitable conferences of the ones that's in college football right now. That is the sticking point as to why they do not like this bill as it is drafted right now. Do you agree with them, DC? Are they correct that they should not like this bill the way it is drafted right now because of the way that the media rights reform is drafted?
Yeah, and I agree with them. And also they don't like the fact that there's no blanket way of enforcing rules as far as the antitrust stuff. It's not addressing that. You still gonna have states doing. Well, hold up,
wait. You know I'm gonna push back on you on that one. I'm gonna push back on you on that one on the antitrust thing. They don't like the antitrust because if the way that it is set up now, the conferences and the schools would not have the power over players to do what they need to do.
Right.
That's the reason why they don't like
yeah,
it.
that's what I'm
They
saying.
want to
Yeah.
have they want to have
Yeah.
that power over that
Yeah,
situation.
that's what I'm saying. They're the enforcement of it. That's what I'm saying. It's not addressing that, so it's not resolving that. So you're gonna still have people going to court. It's no enforcement. So we're saying the same thing. So I agree with them on that end, man. The enforcement, and then plus on top of those two things is like once you give them this power and this bill go through as written, then they're what you just said is they're taking the litigation part from the SEC and the decision making, where it have to, like he's saying, some decisions may have to go through Congress to be resolved, and you can't pivot. Like, just you might be able to get with the Big 12 and all the conference commissioners and make a quick decision if you need to pivot. But now you got to go through Congress with certain things, and they don't want that. He just said, you just read, he doesn't want if it's a quick pivot, it has to go through and have litigation through Congress. They want that power to just make decisions. No. I think they just don't want Congress, honestly, in that part of it, like making decisions.
I think what he was saying was, I think they look at it from the perspective of the way that the NFL is working. They all they want to do is be able to just go by the guidelines that's already set by federally. So whether that's just whatever antitrust laws are already there. So they would rather just get together and create some type of collective bargaining together right now. I don't think whatever law is passed, if this law is passed as written, or whatever revisions that it is, because it is started in the Senate and it has to go to the House, and then the House could debate on this, and it could be a different version of this bill when it comes out of the House, and it has the potential at that particular point in time having to go back to the Senate and be debated on again because of the revisions that will more than likely come out of the House. Now, for people that don't understand, this is a long way away from happening because there is something in government called the filibuster. And in the filibuster in the Senate, you have to have 60 votes in the Senate in order for anything to happen. There's no simple majority in the Senate like it is in the House of Representatives. In the House of Representatives, all you just need is a simple majority. In the Senate, there's something called a filibuster, which I don't agree with. I think that is a slavery rule from long time ago, and stuff like that, in my personal opinion. But you have to have 60 votes in the Senate in order for a bill to go, unless it goes through something called reconciliation, which means you only have to have a simple majority at that time. And reconciliation is something where you have a big bill that has a bunch of other bills inside of it that's passed. I'll give you a hint. The big, beautiful bill that was passed last year is something that was a reconciliation act, which is the reason why it only needed a simple majority, as stated. Ted, your thoughts on this, man? Do you agree with the SEC having a problem with the way that this is written right now when it comes to media rights?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Why wouldn't they? What they generated last year with $1.1 billion of revenue. I think the Big Ten was right around there too. Together, they generated over $2 billion worth of revenue, more than all the other conferences combined. Yeah, why would I want to share media revenue when we're footing the bill for pretty much the entirety of college football through conference? So why would I want to restructure that? Like, what incentive is that for the SEC or even the Big Ten to go through with that? It just doesn't. I guess. And because of that, that is why, like, the talks of these two conferences breaking away even exist, because man, it's almost like a return to the NCAA being in power again, right? Where it's out of governmental control. Those two conferences would be in control of their own rules, and be able to run their league the way that they want to. But yeah, from a media rights standpoint, like, nah, I wouldn't. Should it be like it should? I'll put it like this: from a fan standpoint, from me as a fan, it would make more sense. I'm not even gonna lie to you; it would make more sense if every single school and every single conference were under the same umbrella from a media standpoint, and you could access football games from any conference on any on any channel that shows football, and they just showed the best games out of those for prime time and stuff. Like, it would make probably a better experience for the fan standpoint. But if I'm the SEC and I'm the Big Ten, and I'm sitting here with this large portion of the pie that I've worked to build, right? Other conferences have collapsed. The Big Ten specifically absorbed the conference. Why would I? If I'm Sankey and Petiti, like, yeah, what sense would that make for me to share my media rights with the rest of the country? Maybe y'all need to start playing some better football, or more entertaining football, and go out and get a better media rights deal, right? You got the Big 12 with Texas Tech, ton of money they spending right there. They're making some noise. Get a couple more of those teams and renegotiate. Become a part of this. Have your product better. But I wouldn't. I don't agree with it, and I don't think that. I understand why the SEC wouldn't agree.
That's the last thing we'll talk about before we get out of here, man, because we kind of over time, but it is what it is. There is a provision. You mentioned something when you were speaking about both conferences, what they generated in revenue. You can actually go read this bill on Senate.gov if you would like to. You can actually see exactly what the provisions are in the bill. There is a provision in the bill that if any conference makes over $1 billion, they would not be able to basically realign or add new member schools into that conference. So, Bubba, and with that information that you know now, could you see it before anything like this were to happen? Because the two conferences that did make over $1 billion in revenue in the past couple of seasons has been the SEC and the Big Ten. They are the ones that have made it. And if this were to go into effect, with them making that, exceeding that $1 billion revenue threshold, they would not be able to add new member conferences to their schools. Now, the bill is not in effect, but there seems to be some type of traction to where that there are people that want to see something happen in college football with this. Could you see the SEC and the Big Ten potentially adding more schools into their conferences before this goes into effect?
I don't know. Maybe. Like, I know Clemson. Mm-hmm. We've had interest in Clemson, but I really don't know what other schools they would like to add.
North Carolina
in our region. It would have to be a Big Ten situation where they added like USC and UCLA. So I really don't know.
Okay. Your thoughts on that, DC and Tez, before we get out of here? And I want to get Edward's thoughts on that.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah, I think they could add more teams, man. And you know, I definitely see. And to limit them because they made $1 billion is anti-American, bro. Just peace. You know? It's anti-American, man.
Okay. Tez, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they could add more teams. If they don't decide to branch off, you know, it may create some trouble when you got schools with different. You got states with different schools in each conference from the state. So like Florida State, Florida, situations like that may cause some conflict. You may get those state representatives to push back against something like that. But I don't think so.
Kid Country, your thoughts on this, man, before we get out of here?
Man, if the SEC and the Big Ten, if y'all that big and bad, like you say, yeah, this is what you need to do. Play a 12-game all-SEC schedule. Don't even play nobody else from another conference because you don't want to share the media rights with them. You see what I'm saying? So you look at all the different teams, 16 SEC teams?
16 SEC, 18 Big Ten. 18 Big Ten.
And all of them play at least 3 out-of-conference games with another conference? But you don't want to break the pie off with them? Well, hell, just play 12 SEC games. play 12 Big Ten games.
I like it.
But because, hey, guess what? They showing them teams. They showing them teams on TV. Yeah. When I said, just like if you playing Southern Miss, guess what? ESPN and that. So why shouldn't they get a piece of the pie? You got a big enough pie to where you can share it. But when you try to get greedy, and try to merge together, you're gonna kill the sport yourself.
Hey, Elwood, I don't even know if Elwood just know he said a mouthful right there. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here tonight, man, around the water cooler, man. Thank y'all so much. We kind of went over time a little bit by about 9-10 minutes, but hey, it was needed because it was a great discussion and things, stuff like that. We try to talk that score around the water cooler. Ladies and gentlemen, for DC Wolf at Auburn Addicts, for Tez, SC Season, for my guy Bubba and the old man Auburn Sports Talk, and of course, I got Chef Country, aka Kid Country, aka the Charleston White of YouTube, man. We thank y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler, man. We will be back Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be back around the water cooler. As always, man, you all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one, man. Y'all be blessed. Make sure y'all get the man upstairs above his because he deserves all the praise and all the glory. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, you all be great. When Martin walked out of the room, walked out of the apartment for the last time on the Martin Show, he wrote 2 words on that wall. Those words were 1, love. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate it. Y'all be easy. Y'all be blessed. We'll see you when we see you, man. It is what it is. We out this thing. Peace.
This has been a presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.